Hi everyone. So I feel very inspired to speak to you this morning. There's a real flow of words coming through, and I think it's after a couple of amazing pieces of content that I've been led to the past couple of days, which I'll post beneath this video. But really showing how this world is awakening, how a lot of us are going through this massive awakening process. It's like we're waking from a dream of conditioning that we've been holding on for hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of years, and that we're suddenly coming out of, and we're suddenly dropping in to the moment, and we're suddenly allowing ourselves to be present and to be part of this world and to experience life as it unfolds. And a few of these two pieces of content really opened my mind even further to our true nature, to the true nature of who we are. And I know from the people I work with that a lot of us are going through this awakening process, and this in this time of our mind being constantly open and blown wide open over and over again. And it's kind of like waking up from a dream in which we've been hypnotized for hundreds, thousands, millions of years, hypnotized by conditioning, by old ways of being and doing, by old very dense patterns that have kept us so limited and so small, and believing that what we are is purely the body, purely the physical. And it's such an exciting time to be alive in all of these ancient teachings, ancient pieces of wisdom, which have been around, of course, also for millennia, slowly rising, and even more than just the teachings and these beautiful teachers and these beautiful filmmakers and creatives and artists and speakers and healers and coaches and teachers and mentors and entrepreneurs and game changers and hard workers and light workers and visionaries. Every single one of us is bringing all of this to the table. Every single one of us as this big cell, this big organism, every single cell, part of the whole, is awakening out of this kind of bad, might be a judgment, but old, bad and denser dream. And so, welcome to all of us. Yeah, welcome to what life really is, which is in the now, which is awareness, which is presence. And of course, it's not a straightforward process. Yeah, like when we awaken from a coma or from a dream, a really intense dream, it takes time for us to readjust to this new reality. And we need time. And some days we're going to be put back into our old story, back into the old thoughts, habits, back into the old patterns. And that's going to happen. And then moment after moment, we can go, and I'm awake again, and I'm back in the moment, and I'm back in feeling myself, feeling my body, feeling my impulses, feeling presence inside me, feeling life and trusting life unfolding. So it's not a fully straightforward process of, I'm awake and that's it. But as one of the writers in the two pieces of content says, Jeff Foster, who's brilliant, by the way, really speaks a lot of truth. And as he says, and he says we often have this image of what spiritual awakening means, which might mean we kind of portray as this image of excellence, like hiding in the mountains, monk kind of sense of being. But actually, as he reinforces, spiritual awakening is just a state of awareness, a state of being present to all that's happening, our thoughts, our feelings, our impulses, all our sensations, all the senses around us. And it's not a perfect thing. We don't get that perfectly perfect. There's no perfect anyway. Anything that is out of the moment is still part of us, is still part of our spirit and part of this awakening process. So as I mentioned in a video a while ago, the pull of the earth on our energy field is lessening, so our minds are slowly awakening and expanding, and with that it's bringing a lot of changes to people. And there is a way to make us more pleasurable, more effortless, which is really by diving into it, by surrendering to all your thoughts and feelings and impulses, everything that's arising in your life. If you don't surrender, then life at the moment especially will probably bring a lot of chaos around you to help you, to guide you back onto this path of who you are. Because the real awakening and the real alignment, and this is also what I'm realizing alignment work is at even a deeper level, is a process to support you and us in this awakening state, in a contained, safe, beautiful space. It's allowing us to dive into the body, into the emotions, and to kind of practice what it truly means to be in this awakened state. Yeah, and to notice when we're not, when we're back in our old stories of me, of thoughts and feelings, the stories of who we think we are, the stories of what we think we need and what we want, or the stories of what we think being a human is, when actually there's so much more to us than what we're being told and fed and taught. So there's a real invitation here, I feel, for me and for all of us to continue this journey of awakening and to acknowledge it and to find the tools and the practices that can help us to stay in this state, to stay in our bodies, to stay in our breath, to stay in the moment, and to be the space for all our thoughts and our feelings and all of our experiences without rejecting any of it, but allowing this to slowly happen in its own unique and beautiful way, and not to judge ourselves when we're still caught up in the old stories, in the old ways of being, in the old ways of doing, when we still get hypnotized by the old fears, by the old judgments, by the old emotions as well, and it's all okay, and they're still being worked, being cleansed through us, through our energy fields, through our bodies, and that will happen, for as long as it needs to happen, perhaps forever. So yes, it's so amazing to be on this journey with you at this stage of our evolution as beings, and I'm really looking forward to connecting with you very soon, either in person or online. I have a feeling that a lot of gatherings and a lot of a lot of people are going to start coming together because we are realizing that we are one. We are like the body is composed of trillions of cells that all work together to form what looks like a solid body, but actually is all of this community of cells working together. So we are slowly realizing that we are one cell in the community that is the whole of the planet, and that we have a longing to work together and to work in a seamless, beautiful, pleasurable way, like any living organism does. If you think of a cell in a petri dish, the way it floats, the way it moves, the way it thinks, the way it does things. It's looking for pleasure. It's looking for the right way of things, of doing. And we come together in ourselves and as a community and as a planet, I truly believe that we will thrive. And so the path to thriving is through the body, the breath, the moment, this awareness, and letting go of judgments and expectations of who we think we need to be, and really staying open to how life unfolds. Because I have a feeling that there's a lot more, even more mind-bending, mind-opening, mind-exploding understandings that are going to come from all of the people, from all of the teachers, the healers, entrepreneurs, all of these people, new ways of being, new ways of acting, new ways of doing work, new ways of doing business, new ways of interacting that are going to blow us away over the next years and decades. As we all come back to even letting go of the idea of time and all come back to where it all begins, where it's always ever been, which is the now, the present moment. So just to finish, let's take perhaps a deep breath together, and on the inhale, bringing breath into your denser parts, and on the exhale, surrendering them and giving them back. Let's do it once more together, inhaling into your denser parts and exhaling out, surrendering them, giving them back. And then through this process, just finding ourselves in the present moment with all that we're experiencing, thoughts, feelings, sensations, impulses, and desires. Looking forward to connecting with you soon. All my love. Bye-bye.